Hi, today I will prove to you that there are two different spring traps in Fnaf. Inside one of them is Micton, and inside the other is William Otto. The fact is that many people think that there is only one with Springtrap, and Scott just changed his appearance. But in fact, this is not the case, and in this video, you will find out the truth. This is the Fnaf Play channel, and I'm Freddy the Bear. I have been doing this theory for a very long time, and I hope you will support this video with your like, and we are starting. To make the theory more understandable to you, I decided to divide it into 3 parts: appearance, voice, and plot. Let's start with the appearance. Just look at these 2 spring traps. They are completely different. Even if we take into account the fact that Springtrap survived the fire, his suit could not have changed so much. He could only have been burned and nothing more. In addition, in the cutscene, we see a Springtrap, and if you lighten it, it is clearly visible that it has remained the same as it was, and his left hand and right ear are in place, but the second Springtrap does not have them. In addition, the official name of the second Springtrap is the Staple Ladder, but I will call it the Author, as in the windows in the Ultimate Custom Night. Next, consider the Authon suit itself. He looks very different. He has no shoulder pads, longer and thinner fingers on his hand, a complete absence of the right ear. Only part of the endoskeleton is visible, and of course a completely different form of mask. And now the most interesting thing is, look at the bottom row of teeth in this mask. They are small and sharp. Does it remind you of anything? Of course, his teeth are the same as Plushtrap's, and if you look closely, not only the teeth, but also the shape of the animatronic's head is also similar. That is, the Plushtrap toy is created in the image of the old version of Spring Boney, and this can be easily understood by the shape of his nose. It is the same as old Freddy and Wold Boney. Boney's old Sprint was created at the same time as the rest of the old animatronics, which is why they are so similar. It was because of this incident in the Sister Pizzeria when the old Spin Bonnie costume slammed shut and killed William Authon. The costumes of the first revision were considered life-threatening, and they were replaced with new costumes. All this is told to us in detail by Von Gavev Fnaf 3, and just from the Snuff 3 is the second revision of Spring Boney. It can be seen that the suit has become wider and roomy. Besides, the lower row of sharp teeth was removed from the mask, as they looked quite dangerous. Now it became clear to us why the toy Plushtrap was in the house of the youngest son of Authon from Fnaf 4. Most likely, William Afton personally gave this toy to his youngest son, since he was just working in the costume of this animatronic. And of course, it is worth noting not only the costume, but also the appearance of the person who is inside. It can be seen that Springtrap has a completely red face and white eyes, and his face and skull are pierced with iron parts of the endoskeleton, and he lacks many teeth. This appearance from the sprint is due to the fact that before getting into the suit, he was killed by Enard, and wore an iron endoskeleton in his body for several days. That is, Enard took out all the insides from Mike, and in fact, left only a shell for his own disguise. But when Enard came out of Michael's body, Baby decided to revive her brother, as she thought it was her father. I mean, when Mike was inside the Springtrap, he was already a living corpse, and that's why he looks so terrible. Authon was more lucky, because he just got into the costume about Sleeping Bonnie, and he killed him. At the same time, his skin, nose, and lips remained on his face. In general, it has been preserved quite well. Now let's deal with the voice of animatronics. When we see the con scene with Mike, he says that he freed his sister, and that something is wrong with him. Nay, in the end, he wants to find his father. And in this scene, we do not hear Michael's voice, but his thoughts out loud, since he cannot speak in a Springtrap suit. Because his mouth is constantly open and does not close because of the iron parts of the endoskeleton, all he can do is make a few sounds that we can hear in the game of TAF 3 and after the Screamer in Ultimate Custom Night. Listen for yourself. Authon, as I said, was luckier. He has lips, and his mouth is slightly open, so he can talk with his voice. And we hear his voice in Fnaf 6, and in Fnaf Ultimate Custom Night after the Streamer. In addition, it is worth noting that the voice actors of Eaton's Spring Ladder are different people, while the voice actress of Baby and the clip of Baby are the same. I mean, many people think that in Fnaf 6 Cattle, just change the models of animatronics, because baby location and in FNAF 6 also differ in appearance. But the trick is that when Enter escaped from location, the old baby suit remained in the building, and most likely, baby either found an empty suit for herself or lied to him somewhere in a dump of spare parts, after which she separated from Menard and moved into a new suit for baby. And now we turn to the final part of the theory, in which I will reveal the plot part. To begin with, William Authons creates a prototype of animatronics for kidnapping children, after which Authons' daughter came to her father to work and baby killed her. I found out about it and got very angry. In the evening of the same day, he drove home and driving past the pizzeria, saw the daughter of his friend Henry. William was emotional and decided that since the animatronic had taken his daughter's life, he would take the life of the daughter of his friend Henry, who by the way also took part in the creation of animatronics. After that, Elizabeth's soul moves into the puppet. And by the way, an interesting fact, only the daughters of William and Henry have a unique ability to resurrect or imprison the soul in the body of an animatronic. In general, Baby gave life to Mike, and Elizabeth gave life to everyone in a row, according to the plot of the game. And after the murder of Elizabeth, William came home, and we see that in the minigame, William is not purple, but orange, which is very important. Further in the story, animatronic Frater kills William's second son through the fault of his older brother Mike, after which William goes crazy and starts killing children in the costume of old Sprint Bonnie. And after several murders, the suit goes out of order and kills William, but the puppet gives him life, and the life of all the murdered children. After that, William calls Mike, since we know that William can talk, and asks him to release his sister location. Since now William knows that her soul is in the body of an animatronic, and William wants Mike to release her. William himself cannot come to the location, since animatronics are not allowed to enter and exit the location. It would have been simply dismantled and liquidated there. As a result, Mike gets a job at location, and Baby takes him for his father, then kills him, climbs into his body, and escapes from sister location. But she realizes that she killed her brother, and therefore gives him life. Next, Mike walks around the pizzeria and disassembles the animatronics that his father created. Mike was definitely in the first and in the second part, as we see that he was fired for interfering with animatronics, and for the fact that he stinks, and this is not surprising, because he is a living corpse. After that, Mike breaks into an abandoned pizzeria and disassembles all the animatronics from the first part, but the souls of the children saw Mike mistook him for William, and drove him into the Spring Boney suit of the second revision, after which the suit slammed shut and Mike became a Springtrap. 30 years later, he was discovered and placed in a choir attraction, after which the latter set him on fire and got out to find his father. During these 30 years, Henry did not sit still and created a special trap for all possessed animatronics, but first of all, of course, he wanted to free his daughter Elizabeth. The trap was created under the guise of a pizzeria to lure all animatronics inside. The first to arrive was his mother in a print suit, and Henry took him to work. Just with Pentrap, we play FNAF 6. Of course, you can write that an animatronic cannot be a security guard, and I will say that the whole pizzeria is just a dummy and scenery for the purpose of deceiving and trapping possessed animatronics. Besides, Mike has experience as a security guard. After starting work in the pizzeria, the rest of the animatronics come, and they all find themselves in a special trap room that Henry created. According to Henry, it can be understood that the guard also remained trapped with the rest of the animatronics, and it can be concluded that if the guard was an ordinary person, he would have escaped from this trap long ago, since according to Henry, it can be understood that he had a choice to leave or stay to burn alive. And since Mike realized that his whole family was gathered in this trap, he also decided to stay and burn with everyone to free his soul and rest. As a result, all the souls went to heaven, and the soul of the poor Authon went to hell, where he belongs. That's the whole story, friends. And now you know that there are actually 2 different Springtraps in the game, and this is confirmed by a huge number of different facts that I told you about in this video. So now you know the truth. I hope you liked this theory, and you have already liked this video. And now, friends, good luck to all and bye.